Michael.
At the stop sign, turn left onto South Lindell Avenue, then turn left onto Hazelwood Street. At the stop sign, turn left onto Hazelwood Street. Go past this stop sign, then at the next one, turn left. At the stop sign, turn left onto South Wayne Road. In 4.7 miles, turn right onto Plymouth Road. The Weather Service is warning visitors that dangerous currents can pull swimmers into deeper water, and high waves can sweep people off shore. So be careful out there. So far this year, there has been 14 drownings in Lake Michigan.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
That seems high. I don't know what the average number is, but it's been such a dramatic weather shift and quickly that it's sometimes you just get caught off guard. But the benefit of living in the state of Michigan is that when it's a west wind and it's rough on Lake Michigan, Lake Erie is a great second option.
There you go. There you go.
Always an option.
Now, speaking of the holiday weekend, the Statue of Liberty's little sister has arrived in the United States from France just in time for the 4th of July. I didn't even know there was a little sister, but there is. It's a miniature replica of the Statue of Liberty. It arrived in New Jersey after a week-long voyage. It came from France. It arrived on Wednesday morning, and it's going to be set up at Ellis Island for Independence Day. It's 10 foot tall. It's 1,000 pounds, and it's been on display in Paris for the last 10 years.
What's the name?
Lady Liberty.
Yeah.
Junior. So you got Saul.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
You got Saul, Statue of Liberty.
Yes.
And then so this one is
Smalls. Yeah. We got from the Smalls. Yeah.
Yes. An Indiana man was sentenced to 60 days in jail for misbehaving at Yellowstone National Park. You can't do that. You got to be on your best behavior. He's also been banned from the park for 5 years, and he's had to pay a slew of fines. So at first I thought, oh my gosh, what did he do? He jumped into the geyser or did something. Well, then did something stupid, right? Yeah. But he did do something stupid. This 31-year-old man was part of a group that was actually scheduled to go on a guided kayak tour, but the guy decided, you know what, I'm not taking this group because everybody is too intoxicated. And of course, that made the group very angry. They were not happy with that. And this guy decided to start making threatening comments and some very offensive gestures towards the officers that were there. He refused to obey any orders. He was kicking at the rangers, and he resisted arrest. And then he later injured himself because he was banging his head in the patrol car. So he was arrested for disorderly conduct.
I mean, come on.
That guy might want to quit drinking.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Fact.
Yeah, fact. This next story is, in fact, a devastating one. You might have seen this if you were online at all yesterday. There's a 7-year-old boy who died this week. He died on Tuesday after he sustained severe brain injury during a judo class where he was reportedly thrown by his classmates and his coach 27 times. Little teeny tiny boy. This took place in Taiwan, and the boy was actually on life support for almost 70 days.
Oh.
This coach has been arrested. He was charged with physical assault and using a minor to commit a crime. Now that this young boy has passed away, the coach could actually face even more charges, be charged with injury causing death, and he could face up to life in prison. And what's so bad about this is this little boy's uncle was there at this judo practice, and he was filming the whole thing.
Oh, no.
So you can see in this video,
Why didn't he
it's
stop
really
it?
disturbing.
Exactly.
Well, maybe the father or the uncle didn't realize how much damage was being caused. He was filming it to show this little boy's mother that maybe judo wasn't really a good fit for this little boy.
So he's thinking this.
Yeah.
My goodness,
but
at what point do you intervene and say, dude, enough?
you do ask yourself that question for sure, because you can see these older classmates, throwing this little boy, picking him up over the shoulder and slamming him onto the mat. And you can hear this little boy screaming out in pain, yelling that, his leg was hurting, his head was hurting, that he didn't want to do this. And then despite all of that, the coach told this little boy to stand up, and he ordered the older classmates to continue throwing him to the ground. And then the coach decided to pick him up himself and threw him to the ground too.
Is this real? Like, are you kidding me?
Yes.
Who is this guy? Sensei from
Well,
Cobra Kai? What
So he
the
thought,
hell?
yeah. He didn't actually have a license at the time to even be practicing or teaching or coaching judo. And this poor little boy suffered critical brain hemorrhaging, and he went into a coma. So sad.
Awful.
So
Awful.
sad.
Yeah.
So experts are warning against TikTok's dangerous DIY dental hack. I hate these, just like you said, John. Whenever there's things about teeth, it just makes me cringe. And this is not the first time. There's been dental hacks on TikTok before. There was people who were using like nail files to shave down their teeth.
Yeah.
Dentists were warning against that. And now, to the dismay of dentists, there's a woman on TikTok who claims that she was able to close her tooth gap in 3 days by using really small hair ties. So she was using those really teeny rubber bands, or almost like those
They're
rubber
clear,
bands that
yeah.
you use on braces.
Right.
They're just really, really little. They're very, very tight. And what she would do is wrap these rubber bands around her front teeth. She would use several of the rubber bands to close that gap. She'd also use them on surrounding teeth. And dentists are saying, hold on, do not do this yourself. One, you could actually change the color of your teeth because you're damaging the blood supply. Which that, at first, I didn't even register. I wasn't thinking that, but you don't want that. Also, they say your gums can be damaged. They can become severely inflamed and infected. And the worst case scenario is that you could actually lose your teeth because of doing this. So,
Gotta be honest, she's wasting time. It took 3 days. Like, I got a pair of pliers that could do it in about 60 seconds. That'll make you crazy.
Dr. John will come over to your house.
Dr. James.
Why not go get one of those Invisaligns?
Yeah, they're expensive. Invisalign is not
Yeah.
cheap.
Well, Invisalign's
I
not
got it.
cheap,
Yeah,
but it
it's
also
not
takes
cheap.
time, right?
I mean,
They're trying to shave time and money.
You know what's crazy, though? You think back to when you had braces or when I had braces.
Yeah.
Like the
And
metal in your...
headgear.
None of that stuff exists anymore, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
it does.
Both of my oldest.
Does it?
Not headgear.
I thought it was
I don't know if
just-
headgear does, but braces do.
Do they? I thought
Oh.
it was all just kind of like the mold in your mouth that
Oh, no,
eventually over time straightens the teeth. No?
When you get the
No.
braces off, then you get the invisible
The
mouth guard,
retainer.
the retainer.
I was wrong.
That's been the key development. Is you remember the old retainers with the metal and the
Yes.
plastic that had to go over to your mouth?
I lost one at one time. It was like $100 to
Yeah,
replace.
Yeah.
They're still not cheap, but it's you have to do, you have to wear it, and it just takes time.
Or you end up like me and get a Invisalign later in life, or braces again later in life. Just wear those retainers, people.
Yes.
Please
Don't
do.
throw them in the McDonald's trash by
Don't
accident.
do that. I did that once as well.
Me too.
The Tour de France crash suspect, you guys, she's been arrested. She was
Oh.
found, and it turns out she didn't flee the country at all. She was arrested right there in France. She's been charged with involuntarily causing injury. She faces more than $1,700 in fines. And like I said before, the tour is still planning on suing her. Plus, there's at least one rider who had to withdraw. from the crash or from the race because of the crash, and she also plans on suing her as well.
We got to get her on the show. You think we can get her tomorrow?
I don't know about tomorrow, but
She'd
I think
be a
we
great
definitely
interview.
should. Yeah, maybe Monday. We got some time on Monday.
Yes. We need to reach out to her.
Yes.
She'd be a great guest.
Find her.
Thank you, Heather.
Yes.
And Mr. Rieger, you have something.
Yeah, so John, I wanted to give this to you. I think it's a good one.
What is it?
I feel very strongly about this. So yesterday, I made you some money. And I was waiting for
Your
you.
parlay hit.
I was waiting for you to say something, but
Well-
you never said anything. So yesterday, I gave you the Suns in a 3-leg parlay on PointsBet. If you took it, you made a ton of loot. So today, we tried to make it 2 in a row. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, let's give it to me.
We got Game 5 Eastern Conference Finals. The game's in Milwaukee. We're talking Bucks and Hawks. And yes, I know Giannis has injury issues. I know Trae Young has injury issues. I'm not quite sure about guys playing tonight. But what I do know is I think Milwaukee's broken. If you come out looking like that against the Trae Youngless Hawks team, I think the series is done despite the game in Milwaukee. So here's what I got for you. 3-leg NBA single-game parlay. Hawks getting 2, they cover. The game to go over 215, and the Hawks to win outright to take a 3-2 advantage. You with me?
You know what? Yes, I am, because you nailed it last night. And I was looking at it when I saw the final score this morning. Obviously, the Suns won.
By a lot.
Yeah, win. And then I saw it was 130 over 103. And I obviously, that's easy math for me. So 233, you got the over. What was the other part?
Hawks were getting 2 points, I believe.
Right, yeah. And so I
Suns,
think,
right.
you know what? You're on a roll. I'd go with you again. Just simply
All
on the fact
right.
that you're on a roll.
If you want that bet, you can only get it at PointsBet. PointsBet teaming up with Miller Lite and the Detroit Tigers to give you the chance to win an exclusive VIP prize pack this July. All you have to do is download the PointsBet app now. Sign up with code Miller to enter. You'll receive a 100% deposit match up to $300 at sign up. Prize pack includes tickets, merchandise, and a signed baseball. If you got a gambling problem, call 1-800-270-7117. Let's go win some money.
Yeah, that would be great. I tell you what, talking about money, a landmark day in college athletics. July 1, 2021. We'll tell you why coming up in just a few minutes. 97.1 The Ticket.
This hour's ticket signing bonus keyword is Vivid. Text Vivid to 72881 for your chance at $1,000.
On a hot day, there's nothing like walking into your home and getting hit with a blast of cold, refreshing air. Unless your house is just hot all the time. Then all you want is some relief. USA Insulation fixes hot homes. Because once their premium foam fills up your walls, you'll get relief from sleepless hot nights. You'll get relief from big electric bills. And you'll get relief from family members being cranky about the heat. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Shoot, even your AC unit will get some relief. And you know every time that thing clicks on, it's costing you money. Put an end to the madness once and for all. Get your home insulated the right way with USA Premium Foam Insulation. And here's a deal you don't want to miss. For a limited time, when they foam your walls, they'll insulate your attic for free. So stop sweating and start saving. Call today, 1-800-USA-FOAM. That's 1-800-USA-FOAM or USAinsulation.net.
USA Insulation.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial, and we've created a very unique 5-star process that allows the majority of our refinance loans to close in 10 business days or less without the need of an appraisal. Go to callhallfirst.com and get started now.
Want to save a lot on your energy bills? Want to have some fun? Well, with the DTE Interactive Home, you can do both. From the attic to the basement, bedroom to backyard, the Interactive Home has tips, tools, programs, and products to save money in every room of the house. It's one of the few ways you can have fun and save money at the same time. Visit DTEinteractivehome.com today.
Go past this light,
DTE.
then at the next one, turn right.
DTE wants you to reach for the stars. Energy stars, that is. That star on a product means it will save you energy, money, and and it's better for the planet. Energy Star status is independently certified to lower both energy use and emissions. As a proud partner, DTE offers ways to integrate these products into your home and even buy some of them from our online marketplace at dteenergy.com/saveenergy. DTE.
I need tech that can make me as productive in my home office as I am at my office.
It's possible with Staples Connect. I need a fast, new PC so I don't miss a beat in college. Staples Connect makes it possible with the tools you need to work and learn. And now get up to $150 off select PCs like the HP Pavilion laptop with Intel i5 processor. Explore what's new at your local Staples or staplesconnect.com. Staples Connect, the working and learning store. N73 Limit 2.
Welcome guests back in with 4th of July savings at Lowe's. Get Valspar Signature Interior Paint and Primer starting at $32.98 per gallon. And with appliance savings today and every day, save up to $750 now on select major appliances. The summer savings continue this July 4th. So stop at Lowe's or buy online and pick up in store. Lowe's, home to any budget, home to any possibility. Paint pricing valid through 7/7/21. In-store must ask cashier to apply coupon. Savings vary based on purchase amount. Can be combined with additional discounts. Exclusions apply. Valid through 7/14.
This hour of Instant Feedback brought to you by Mike Tapura of National Benefit Plans. For affordable life insurance, call 877-734-2200.
Live from the Jamie Samuelson studio, here's Stoney and Chanson.
Welcome to July. It is July 1, 2021, and this is a very important day across the NCAA because today is the day that name, image, and likeness, NIL, goes into effect. Now, in some states, like Alabama, Georgia, Florida, there's a few others that there are laws on the books that will take precedence for those states that do not currently have a law on the books or they don't have a law that has taken effect yet. I think Michigan's is about 18 months away from taking effect. The NCAA has passed a rule that says we're going to allow the universities to make a rule. What could go wrong?
It's amazing, isn't it?
I think that this by itself is a great opportunity and a one that has been long overdue for student athletes across the board. Men's, women's, it doesn't matter the sport. But the NCAA has dragged their feet for decades. The federal government kept saying, hey, we're going to do something in this regard as well, and they haven't gotten anything done. This is a time where the NCAA could have shown some leadership. Now I think that's a little bit of a different discussion, but what does go into effect today is that across the NCAA, we're going to be able to see teams or athletes that can profit off of name, image, and likeness. So they can go out, they can have autograph sessions, they can use their name to sell a summer camp for their school. They can have private lessons. They can say, hey, I'm John Chanson, offensive tackle at the University of Michigan. I can't say University of Michigan. I'm an offensive tackle in college. I know who I am, and I'm going to have a camp for a big one. You can now do those types of things and get paid for it.
They can also go on Instagram, or Twitter, or Facebook. Make money that way as far as marketing is concerned. I love this idea. I think it's great. I've said forever, I think we've all said forever, these kids should be able to get paid in other ways because they can't have a job for the longest time. So I dig the fact that they're going to be able to make money like every other human being off themselves, their likeness, their image, what have you. Here's my only issue. And since the schools are making the rules in most of these cases, unless there's a state law, right? It's also murky. It's also unclear. The one thing you're not allowed to do is have people pay you money to come to your school, to play for your school. This is only after you're already at the school to make extra money, and you're doing it in lieu of a service, right? I mean, a car company hires you, a car dealership hires you, and you're their spokesperson. They pay you 10 G's, and you hawk their cars. That's what we're talking about. But you know, since the rules are so murky, John, you know there's going to be a booster that reaches out to the best prospect out there, the best recruit out there, that says, hey, yo, I'm to Michigan. When you get here, I got a dealership in Ann Arbor. You're my spokeskid. I'll pay you $500,000. All you got to do is account for commercials. Everybody's going to know who you are anyhow. And I'm essentially buying you to come to Michigan. There's no rule against that, even though there is. But I don't think they can prove that you did that. So doesn't this just open up for illegal recruiting, if you will? I love the idea, don't get me wrong. But the fact that the NCAA doesn't have clear-cut rules, and the fact that each school can make up their own rules, it's a joke.
It is. And this just, again, is another example of the ineptitude of the NCAA. And every school is going to have their rules, and there's just, I'll share a few that Michigan has released in regards to the name, image, and likeness today. Some of the uses of the student athlete's name, image, and likeness that would be approved is traditional commercials or advertisements, student athletes developing or promoting their own business, personal appearances, student athletes running their own camps or clinics, providing private lessons using their name, image, and likeness to promote those, sponsored social media posts, autograph sessions, and there are some checks and balances in place, like when you have this opportunity, somebody comes to you and says you have this opportunity, you have to disclose to the university everything about it. And they can then say, okay, well, you know what, because you brought this up earlier in terms of if one of the student athletes wants to use the tennis or they want to sponsor Nike, that would be a conflict of interest. And they may be able to do that outside of athletics, but they wouldn't be able to wear the shoes on the field. That would, we're entering a very unknown space because that would be a collectively bargained agreement between, I would think the university would have to hand in that, athletes would have to have a hand in that, but there's no union right now for student athletes.
Well, the other murky thing too is the agents, right? So these kids are going to be hiring agents, but not to go to the NFL or the NBA or the MLB, but they're going to be hiring agents to help them with these opportunities to make money. And you said this earlier, and it's genius for the agents. The agents along the way are going to help you get a dealership ad here. They're going to help you hock a cheeseburger here. And then when it's all said and done, and you are good enough to go pro, you use them as your agent to negotiate your contract, get you in the combine, whatever the case is. I just think, and it doesn't shock me because the NCAA is ridiculous. But it does to an extent the fact that every school is going to play with their own cards, if you will. Right? So there's no neutral cards. So you look at a team like Alabama or a school like Alabama. It's illegal. It's against college football in these new rules to pay a kid to come to your school.
Right.
But it's going to happen.
How about a transfer?
There you go.
That's where I think this is really going to be a big deal.
That's a great point. Especially now you can transfer after 1 year. You don't have to sit out.
And be immediately eligible. You know what? Hey, you did great at, Nowheresville, USA for 2 years. Why don't you come to Alabama, and here's what we can do for you.
Right. And we'll give you car dealership ads. But what about this? I mean, are we to the point where you just might as well pay for the players? Like, highest bidder. College football makes enough money. I know there's all kinds of loopholes, and there would be all kinds of things to figure out, but it seems like that's where we're going.
Well, if that's the case, then this is the first domino to fall in creating, I think, a super conference.
100%.
Because you have the haves and the have-nots. You have those programs that have boosters, that have connections, that could provide those opportunities, and you have other ones that just simply can't.
But to an extent, the ones that can, and you mentioned the super conference, everybody would be on a level playing field.
Right.
Right? So
in theory.
Right. If you're upset that Alabama gets all the great recruits, then you're going to have some money too, and you could fight that with money. But I hear you. It's crazy that this exists, doesn't it?
Well, it's crazy that it's taken this long, and what's even crazier that they're unprepared for. I mean, this has been something that has been brewing for decades, not just a year, or it's not been a hot topic for the last 6 months. This has been brewing for decades. The NCAA is so unprepared for this moment. Even when California, I believe, was the first state to pass an NIL law. Theirs doesn't even go into effect, I think, for another 6 months. But then
Michigan goes in a year and a half.
And a half, and then you have other other states, and I use Florida, Georgia, and Alabama as examples, they put laws in effect, and they go into effect today.
I just thought of something. You're going to think it's dumb, but you could take advantage of it.
Okay.
Is there any chance, because this is the NCAA, you said yourself, this has been in talks for years,